What is a float? A float is your favorite loser of all time. So today we're going to be talking and asking who your float is. So let's start. A lot of people could say Carmelo Anthony, but he's still playing. Another guy's still playing, Mike Trout, hasn't won anything yet. We're not counting college championships. Carmelo won at Syracuse. Patrick Ewing won in college as well. He's mentioned in here at some point. You got a lot of guys like that. Everyone's going to say their favorite athlete, but let's talk about some guys who were so close, but they never won. Jim Kelly in his 4 Super Bowl appearances. We have guys like Randy Moss, who was very close multiple times. You got Patrick Ewing, who's so close. You got guys like Tony Gwynn that all my San Diego people are going to say. All the old school Detroit people are going to say Ty Cobb. Old school Boston people going to say Ted Williams. That's just how it's going to be. But who's your favorite? Personally, you can look at some NFL running backs. You got Barry Sanders. You got O.J. Simpson. You got LaDainian Tomlinson. It's like, who'd you like watching more? They all never won championships. Let's talk about basketball. I already mentioned Patrick Ewing. You got Tracy McGrady. You got Chris Paul, who's still playing. You got Russ, still on the Lakers. They got a good chance this year. You got James Harden. Russ and James Harden, they got to get one soon, right? But they got nothing as of now. Let's keep going. Let's talk about baseball. You got the kid, Ken Griffey Jr., man. He's never won anything. He's got to be a lot of people are his favorite. You know, he's the kid. Everyone loves Ken Griffey. Going back to football, you got Tony Gonzalez, someone who many people consider the greatest tight end of all time. You got Dan Marino, who for a while held a lot of quarterback passing records. He was considered the greatest quarterback of all time for a good amount of time. You know, you're a Miami fan. He's the guy. You got Charles Oakley. He was the guy at Auburn. He was the guy in Houston. Played in Philly for a little bit. Everyone knows him from his argues with Shaq. He never won a championship. He's a popular choice out there. Karl Malone, John Stockton, a great duo. They never won anything. They played together for many years. They were close. Lost to MJ in that finals. What a great shot by MJ that was. But he's not in this conversation. He was the champion. We're only talking about guys who came close, didn't win, guys who never won, guys who won MVPs but no championships. The questionable one, Cristiano Ronaldo. He's won tons of league championships, but he's never won a World Cup. He won a Euro. That's not a World Cup. And in soccer, that's one of the things. That's a gray area there. Soccer fans, let me know what you think. You know, I didn't want to talk about too many current athletes, but think about the guys that are playing now that never won a championship. And guys that played and came so close, like Allen Iverson. Man, he was great. Everybody loved AI. But is he your favorite? There's a lot of guys on this list you may not think of. Allen Iverson's definitely a good one. A little bit of a controversial one here. We got Barry Bonds. Should he be in the Hall of Fame? Should he not? He still never won a championship. Could he be your favorite? Could he not be? Maybe you like him for what he did. Maybe you don't like him for what he did. Doesn't change the fact that he set a lot of records and was a pretty good athlete. That's what we're talking about. And he never won a championship. Staying with baseball, you got the Cubs legend Ernie Banks. All my Chicago people, he's got to be your choice, right? Or is there anybody more? Anyone else you can think of? Ernie Banks was good for a while. You got other guys on this list. Got Barry Sanders, Warren Moon. They both never won anything. So there are a lot of options. Let me know what you think. Let me know who your favorite float is, favorite loser of all time. It sucks to call them losers because these guys are definitely not losers. They did a great job dominating in their respective sport. Let's talk about some of my favorites. In football, gotta keep it with Dan Marino. I'm a Dolphins fan. Although I'm young, I never got to watch him play. Definitely love and respect the man. Always watch his highlights. Always listen to my dad's stories, talking about how good Dan Marino is. Moving to baseball, I think as a baseball fan, you gotta go Ken Griffey Jr. He was just good for so long. It's kind of hard to think that he never won a championship with those Seattle teams with him and A-Rod. All the other guys there, they had a really stacked lineup. He's just a cool guy. The fact that him and his father played in the same team together, can't have nothing but respect for Ken Griffey Jr. Move to basketball. Feel like you gotta, personally, I feel like you gotta say Carmelo. Everyone loves Carmelo. Just iconic. New York Knicks. I'm not a Knicks fan, but definitely like Carmelo. Although he's still got a chance. He's on the Lakers now, so he could get a ring, but it's not really going to be his ring. He's definitely not a top option on the team. You know how the Lakers are this year. It's tough, man. There's a lot of really good choices. A lot of guys that you kind of wish got a ring, but never really got to. A lot of that guys came close, really good chances, like Randy Moss on that Patriots undefeated team. Great comeback by Eli Manning and the Giants. Really kept him from getting a ring. Guys, you'd almost like to wish you could have some guys on there. Like maybe some of us would wish Tom Brady never got a championship. Imagine how funny that'd be if Brady never had anybody at all the MVPs. A lot of guys like that. Like how crazy would somebody else's career be if they had 3 more championships? Like if Mike Trout was a 3-time champion, he'd definitely be considered the greatest baseball player of all time. Or what if Patrick Ewing had a ring or two? Would he be considered up there with Jordan if you took 2 of Jordan's rings and gave it to Ewing? Let me know who your float is, man. Thanks for watching. Be sure to comment.